Hey, good evening.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm good. What's up?
Yo, not much. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Great. Well, then the interview's done. We've accomplished what we came here to do.
We're here. We're done.
Yeah, we felt heard and we're good to go.
Yeah.
No, that's fantastic. So let me give you a quick introduction for everybody. I've been talking about you for a few minutes, but we'll do the official thing right here. So I first heard about Debórah Bond and her music from the Foreign Exchange. Nicolay, I'm a big fan of the Foreign Exchange, but Nicolay had done a remix to her song Say It on their Reworks project. She had also been featured on Zoe's album. I love Zoe as well. That's my guy. He's also a DC guy.
Yeah.
But by the time that I had heard about her, she was already killing it. She had an album in 2011 called Madame Palindrome that charted for 3 weeks in the UK. By that point, she was touring around the world with the Foreign Exchange, with a really dope acid jazz European group called Incognito. She did a lot of work with them. In between all of that, she's been doing voiceover work. She's been writing jingles. She's served 6 terms as DC Grammy Chapter governor. And I kind of heard that you might have gotten invited to another year, so that's dope. But it's been 10 years since Madame Palindrome has dropped, and she just dropped Compass Volume 1 on March 5th. It is really good. I played it over and over. Like, melodies are stuck in my head. So congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you.
But in doing so, she reached out to a lot of different Richmond artists, and so I wanted to talk to her tonight about that connection, her music in general, and just the changes that she's seen since working on a different project. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Yo, well, with that fantastic introduction, and I'm joking.
Yes, I'm a journalist, and that was a fantastic. And you got my name right, so thank you.
You know what? I try to do my research because I went to journalism school too, so I was like, I can't make myself look foolish. But the most pressing question I wanted to ask was, which kind of spicy food do you prefer? Thai spicy food, Mexican spicy food, like Caribbean spicy food? That's like the thing I wanted to start with.
I actually like all of that spicy food. Jerk chicken, all kinds of Thai chilies, all of it. Yeah. I like spice. Like, how did you, you knew, okay, you did your research because yes, all spice is all me. Jerk chicken, jalapeno peppers with Mexican food.
Word.
Indian spice. Oh my gosh. Ethiopian spices.
Okay. You're well versed in your spice. I like that.
I'm about that life.
I like that. What's like your hot level? What's your tolerance level? Do you go crazy hot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go crazy hot. I go 1 year Cinco de Mayo. It was a long time ago. I won't do that again. But a Cinco de Mayo years ago, homies, we were partying, just having a party, and one of my good friends, we had this whole habanero challenge, and we just took big bites of habanero peppers, and I thought my tongue was permanently damaged. It was so fucked up. Excuse my language, but it was really bad. It was really, really bad. And then, when it was done, it was done. Throw some water, some milk, have a quesadilla,
That's always the other debate. Is it water? Is it milk? I feel like beer.
It's not water. It's not water.
No,
it's not water. It's nothing. It's hell.
It's time.
It's time to stop doing that. But I will push it to the limit. I will try peppers, spices. My brother, he's like a master gardener, so he grows like ghost peppers and all that stuff. Like I won't try ghost pepper because that you will die. You can even put it on your fingers, but like I'm gonna go there.
Hey, well, build yourself up first. Don't fly before you leap. You know what I mean?
True.
So I want to get to the real important stuff. The album Compass Volume 1 that you just released. I really do love it. It's fantastic. I've played it probably 20 times going back and forth to work. And like I said, the melodies are stuck in my head. But I came across something that I thought was really interesting. You put up a picture exactly 1 year before you released the album. And it was just a picture of yourself. And that seemed to be like the starting of the recording process. Why did you choose to just go with a picture as like your inspiration? And how did that process come about?
Man, that was like most of the things I'm doing right now. That was like kind of on a whim. Mm-hmm. Just going with the flow, kind of experimenting. And at that point, I did know that I wanted to release new music. I knew kind of what the branding and the vibe was going to be, but I really didn't know what I was doing. For real, I didn't know. So I just kind of wanted to set a tone. And from studying journalism and being out there with that, I knew that in order to set a tone, your pictures, your style in social media needs to be really clear and direct. And so, yeah, I just, by that point, I had just begun to experiment with the brand that I wanted to present, the story that I wanted to tell. So, yeah, just really experimental.
Yeah. When I look at the picture after hearing the album, to me, it looks like the picture's just kind of saying like this is me. Like I want to show you who I really am. After mm-hmm. You're looking dead at the camera. It's just very kind of focused. It's black and white.
Yeah.
And I hearing the album, it makes sense. That vibe that you went. So I think you nailed that.
Thank you.
When did you start working on it? Like immediately after the photo? Were you working on stuff before the photo?
I started really, actually around the end of 2019, I decided that I wanted to put out a new project. Between the end of 2015 till now, I just had a lot of life changes, some circumstances that when you get grown in this music industry, things can shake you up. So at that point, I was really trying to figure out what the next move was. And by the end of 2019, I knew that I wanted to present something else. I didn't care if it was a mixtape or an EP of 3 or 4 songs. I just knew by the end of 2019 that I wanted to present new music. And so the process really began with the exception of one song that I started working on in 2018. The rest of the album started at maybe April 2020.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you put that together pretty quick because you had dropped a single for it in September of 2020?
Actually, the single dropped in January. Yeah. I wanted the whole album to be a 2020 album, but just a lot of things that came to be slowed me down and made me relax about all of that and just wanted it to be what I wanted it to be. So it became a 2021 album, but I did around maybe November 2020, I was like, yo, I want to put this out right now. Oh, I was like so eager, but no, I needed to get all some ducks in a row, and but yeah, the whole album was conceptualized and really brought to life between April of 2020 to October 2020. Wow. From start to finish.
I mean, that's still really quick in my opinion. But
I've never done that before.
Really? How long did it take to make Madam Palindrome?
Oh my God, like 7 years. It took so long. It was the same kind of deal because my first album, Day After came out in like 2002 maybe, 2003. Okay. And then I had this period of time where I was just kind of working and grinding. And then came Madam Palindrome. And Madam Palindrome came out 2011. So I'm used to these long stretches of time. And this was not, it was a long stretch of time, but the writing happened in a one swoop. And I'm not used to that. So that was cool for me. Very different for me.
Is it, I'm asking because it was a long time between these projects. I'm sure that you've had song concepts or ideas that you've wanted to express for a while, but Did it, you said it all kind of happened at one time with the writing, but did you feel like what you had been processing throughout that time was synthesized, or did you have to kind of go back through and edit a couple times to make it sharper?
I had, by the time 2020 kicked off, I kind of knew mood-wise and artistically what I wanted the album to feel like, and what I wanted the textures and sonically what I wanted it to be. So a lot of that was freedom and experimentation. And with Madame Palindrome, I remember like trying to make everything so polished and trying to keep up with the Joneses in 2012 when there was Maxwell, and there was just so much happening that I was trying to, from an independent, low budget point of view, trying to keep up with. Whereas with this album, I wanted to kind of turn all away from that. I wanted things to feel very organic and very vulnerable and raw. So I wanted to not sing things over and over again and make them perfect vocally. I didn't want, I wanted mistakes or whatever, was happening to just stay there. And for people to understand that this album was birthed from hard times and from a raw time, and to accept all the flaws and all, there's a lot of beauty in that. So, yeah. So I didn't do a lot of tweaking of this album, as far some tweaking, but not really. Yeah. Well,
I mean, sometimes when it comes out, that's how it's supposed to come out. Do you feel like, I'm assuming that you did most of this recording at home because of the circumstances.
Right here, all of it.
Yeah.
Right here.
And
literally
I
where you see me is where I sung the vocals.
Yeah.
Like, well, here's my microphone right here. I can hold it right there. Yeah.
Do you think that, being in your own space, being able to record in your pajamas, do you think that gave you a little more comfort in your experimentation, in trying some things that maybe you would have been a little more self-conscious to try before?
Hell yeah. I mean, oh man. I mean, we all know what this year has been like. We know that it's been so traumatic. 2020 was a traumatic year. So for me, being in here by myself in this environment that you see right now, it allowed for me to find all times of the night to create. Like, it could be 4 a.m. when my sleep is really jacked up because it's just the beginning of the pandemic and we're all home, and I'm like, why am I awake at 4 a.m? Okay, let me just sit over here at the microphone and like press play, and like, that was the vibe. And I'm really thankful for it, because I think that prior to all of this, I was trying to move and shake. I was trying to do so much that I wasn't really focused. And being home and having nothing else to do, to be honest, having all my performances from 2020 just canceled, it was like, why not? Just be free. Just be free. Don't trip and let yourself out, because we're all kind of locked down. So why stress?
Yeah. That's very zen of you. I like that. It's,
kind of. It's kind of zen, but it's also kind of vulnerable, because with my last album with Madame Palindrome, we really wanted everything to be like super polished and clean and like everything. And there's this saying about the sophomore album, your sophomore curse. Like, putting out your second release, there's a lot more pressure because of your first release. So with Madame Palindrome, myself and my brothers who worked on it with me, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. This album, I was like, I'm in here. Sing it, and if it's messed up, leave it. If your voice cracked, leave it. Like, what do you feel? Because people will understand how you feel, because we're all locked down. So, a lot easier in some ways.
Yeah. I kind of like the authenticity that's happening now with music, people being able to record like that and leaving these kinds of like little mistakes in. It reminds me a lot of like, like how D'Angelo had Questlove drum, and it was just a little bit like sloppy, a little bit drunken toddler. but it just kind of added some character to it. And so, yeah, I mean, I know sometimes when I'm recording, I'll say, I was talking to a guy here engineering with me one time, and I was like, can you hear me? And he was like, no, not really. And I was like, oh, dang, I didn't turn this on. But I left that in there as like this ad lib underneath. Just like, I don't know, we're recording.
Freedom, man. Yes. Freedom, experimentation, relaxing on it. Just relax. And I just, for me personally, I have not been that girl. And so in this moment, in the last year, it's like when it comes to recording, my mind was basically like, you need to chill and let this be and be vulnerable and be honest. And don't worry about if things are rough around the edges. That's who you are. We're all rough around the edges. So, yeah.
Yeah. I really appreciate that take and you trying to share that message with people. In my opinion, what we learned in 2020 is like how little control over things that we have. And so focus on what you have control on. So I think, I think your album hit me in a way that like I could understand. So I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Like I'm just listening to it, yo. So, but you're recording at home now, so you're not in studio with people. This is clearly a different way than you've ever recorded before.
Yeah.
Is that part of the reason why you were able to reach out to artists that were in different cities like Richmond? You know, this is what we do at HearRVA is promote Richmond artists and Virginia artists, and you have got a long list of some really dope Richmond musicians on your album. And I mean, how did that connection happen? Where did that come from?
It really came from the foundation of the album, and the foundation of the album really started when I met members of the group Future Prospect, and Future Prospect is out of, hey y'all, there's a lot of friends joining in. I just want to say peace to all of y'all. I see y'all. Oh, thank you for hanging out. So yeah, friends that I met quickly from my sister Kia Bennett, who's a singer from Richmond. She told me to come to a show at Twins Jazz on U Street, DC, that has now closed down. And she said, oh, this group Future Prospect is going to be performing, and you would love them, and they're from Richmond, and they're the future. And I was like, okay. So I went to check them out, and hey, my brother's here. Hi, John. What's up, John? Sorry, I got a shout out. I got Zoe. What's up, Zoe Black? Okay, so yeah. So I went to that show, and they rocked like she said they would. They were really amazing. And from there, I'm a people person, so I'm not afraid to meet people and network and kind of, met Morgan Burrs and Trey Sorrells. And over the last few years, I really started to follow what they were doing and what they were getting involved with, and seeing that they were really shining light on the Richmond community and really holding it down, like for real, for the Richmond community, amongst other people that I had already been listening to. Like I was listening a lot at that time to DJ Harrison, Devon, and I didn't know that all of these connections were happening. But through Trey Sorrells, who I was working in an agency band with, he really gave me a up close and personal introduction to them. And at that point, it was like, okay, so these are great individuals and they're doing really good things, and I'm trying to continue good things. And so let's see what we can do together. And it's kind of like this snowball of things. But in the beginning, it was just really seeing Future Prospect, seeing them and seeing how I'm a little bit older, and there's some younger cats, they're from Richmond. And, my friend Kia, who invited me out to see them, Kia sung backgrounds for D'Angelo at one point. And so there's just like all these 6 degrees of separation kind of things happening. So, Hey, Zoe, is Zoe in the room? Hey,
yeah, I saw Zoe join. What up, Zoe?
I have Zoe's t-shirt on. Shout out to Zoe. I have his t-shirt. It's always time for the percolator, because that's the energy I have tonight.
Can I admit something to you? I almost wore my Zoe shirt. I read the liner notes, but I put on my little brother left back shirt instead.
Okay, little.
So, hey, shout outs to Zoe, man. I always
shout outs to Zoe. I don't know if he's still here, but yeah, I wanted to wear the time for the percolators because, And my friend, there's Zoe, and my girl Stacy from AU is here, and Stacy can attest to the fact that she's seen me percolate on many DC dance floors in the late 90s, early 2000s. So it all is full circle.
We're gonna catch you. We're going to catch you percolating in 2021?
You know, I'm a little older now, so, you know, the bones change. Okay. Percolating takes a lot of limbo, you know. Yeah. Hey, Stacey. Stacey knows if my knees can do it, I'll try.
Okay, it's more of like a simmer now?
It's a simmer now. It's a little bit of a...
You're still bubbling.
It's like if we could take the percolator and like slow it down and chop and screw it, I could do that.
Okay. So, hey, so you've been experimenting. I expect something like that coming up here pretty soon. Zoe, you're in here. Jump on that, man. Y'all get
right, that. Right, go in. Percolator 2021.
Chopped and screwed. Yeah, I love it. I love it. No, that's super dope. Yeah, you've got some amazing Richmond artists. You got Brandon Lane, yes. Trey Sorrells, DJ Harrison, who is amazing. I'm actually going to see DJ Harrison on Friday. He's got a social distance gig over at the Hoffheimer building, and I definitely got my table for that. So
shout out to DJ Harrison. Yeah,
love DJ Harrison. You got Marcus Tinney, you had Morgan Burns, Corey Fonville, Jacob Underleader, like everybody. You got basically the whole Butcher Brown band. I don't know if you know Butcher Brown, but they are.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
I mean, I've
been stalking them quietly for several years. Okay. And you know, there's a song on the album called Manifester. It's an interlude. And I believe that I can manifest what I want. And I saw them, and I was like, I want to work with them somehow. Mm-hmm. And I manifested that. So, you know, I got I got to them. And really, it's about Brandon Lane, because Brandon is doing such great work, and he has been like helping me kind of guide this whole new album's journey. And, you know, he reached out to them, and they were down. So, yeah.
That's dope. That's really dope. Mm-hmm. Before we get out of here, I know we're kind of wrapping up our time. I wanted to ask you, because you've had a lot of success in Europe, in UK, and over there it seems to be, you know, they really love soul music. They really love, you know, jazz and these kinds of things. But they also have a way of consuming music that's not so commercialized, where everything has to be packaged in a certain way, like things are here. How do we as fans, how do we as musicians and artists and communities take that idea here and bring it back so that we put the focus more on quality of music over, you know, what is packaged, what is seen? Like, what can we do as fans? I know that there are certain sites like Bandcamp where you can get your, you know, money to the artist a little bit better, but like what needs to change?
You know, it's really about what I'm seeing right now in the social media time that we're in, where it's really about what you share and who you promote, word of mouth. This is like just a extended version of word of mouth. That's what social media is. Yeah. So what I'm seeing is, especially with the youngins, as I call them, they sometimes are hesitant to put things on a platform and share things that inspire them, that are not popular, that are not seen by everyone already. There was a culture back in the day. I've done radio, I've done a lot of DJing, and so I've kind of mixed and mingled with some of the veterans of radio and DJing. And the vibe back in the day was that people felt so cool about sharing something that you never heard before, sharing something that was like, oh, I'm going to hip you to this. And like, wow, like someone listens to it and they're like, damn, who is that? Right now, the culture is, oh, I'm not going to hip you to it until it's already considered cool. Because there's this energy of like presenting or sharing or promoting anything that's not already established as cool is corny or whatever it is. And that's a very young frame of mind. I'm not going to put it beyond that word, just young, very basic word. Because as you get older, as you start to develop a taste in music, you don't really care who thinks whatever. When you dig it, you share it, and you say, yo, this Chick Corea album is really phenomenal, or this Joni Mitchell album is nuts, or this, did you hear Rakim's lyric in this? And you share it. And so right now, though, the culture is a little like, I'm too cool to, I'm going to share it when it's cool. And I think that listeners and tastemakers need to let go of what this aesthetic of being cool is and be yourself. And promote what makes you feel good, because right now everyone's been feeling kind of jacked up.
Yeah.
And so we want to know what is helping you heal in this time, and let go of all of there's chips on people's shoulders, and there's like, oh, I can't share this because it didn't get this many likes. Share who you want to share, promote who you want to promote, and understand that creates a synergy.
Yeah.
And that creates a renaissance, and that creates movements. And if you're not about it, then you're not about it. But some people will be like, oh, I'm about the movements and the cause, but then they don't even feel comfortable sharing this little hidden gem and like promoting that community kind of vibe. So I'm rambling, but all that to say is, like, I think right now we have to get rid of this hip culture of like, I'm too cool for school, and like go back to like the vets in radio, the vets in music. They found their communities and they found their tribes, and it was all about that. They would share, they would work with them, and they didn't care who gave a damn. So
like it. Yeah, no, I think you're 100% right. I think honesty needs to come from both sides. From the artists, they need to get back in touch with who they are and not necessarily who people want them to sound like. And
exactly.
I think the fans need to stop stunting and only, promoting things that they know are safe, because their friend's not going to make fun of them, for saying something that they've never heard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I hope that, I hope that we can play our part here at HearRVA by promoting stuff. I mean, right now it's me, so everything that I promote is definitely.
You're doing a great job. You're doing like, seriously, we need more of you, like lots of views all over the place.
Okay, well, my wife won't be happy about that, but yeah. No, but I really appreciate you coming on. This has been, fantastic, and I think, it's allowed people to connect with you in a way that hopefully drives more people to check out your music. What do you got coming up over the next little bit of time that you want to tell people about? Do you have any live streaming shows or anything?
Yeah, in 2-3 days. On Friday the 19th, I'll be doing a live stream with Blue House Studios. It's a virtual concert. I'm going to be presenting a lot of the new music, a few of the old songs, and maybe highlighting some other little sprinkles of fun. And it's my first time in over a year, like being with a full band, background singers, the whole shenanigans, and we're going to put on a show. So this Friday, the 19th, Blue House Studios, it's on Eventbrite. And besides that, there's also some other media visual. Like, I'm just going to try to keep you on a compass journey as we figure out when I'm going to get back on stage. So there's also all kinds of other little treats that are coming this week visually, and yeah, we're gonna have some fun.
That's exciting. I can't wait to hear more from you. This album is amazing. Again, thank you so much for coming on and talking with me. It's been really a pleasure.
Thank you so much, man. Let's do it again.
Yep, I'm with it. Y'all heard it. We're gonna do it again.
When this next video comes out, we really should do it.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You have a great evening.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Peace, y'all. Thanks for hanging with us.